Welcome back to another episode, man. 1, 2, 3 CABO. It's your boy Zeke, aka Fat Boy Season, man. Miami Dolphins edition. We got a very special guest, man. My boy Tab. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world.
Everybody, man. Tell everybody know. Instagram, cocked_nature, man. You know, fins up, man. Fins up.
Hands up, dog, man. So the Dolphins, man. I actually know a few Dolphins fans, which is kind of weird. But how did you become a Dolphins fan?
I grew up a Dolphins fan, so it's weird. My family half is Steelers, half Cowboys mostly. I got one cousin I kind of grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
He put me on the Dan Marino when I was a little kid.
Okay.
Decent, you know.
Okay.
With the game, we beat the Jets, we beat the Patriots, and then you know.
Hey.
From there, it's been Dolphins ever since. I've been a loyal fan. I'm not really a flip flop unless some extreme happens. So you know that right now. So I'm gonna stick beside him, man. I'm
gonna stick beside him. Hey, see, the thing is, like a lot of the teams that I've done so far either didn't make the playoffs or like got out really early. So we all kind of in the same boat of like we just gonna stick beside our teams, man.
That's all you do.
Hey, Washington, Dallas, Cleveland, we gonna stick beside.
I mean,
but yeah, man.
I don't even know any Cincinnati fans, honestly. I know a couple Rams fans, but no Cincinnati fans. That's crazy.
I know the only Cincinnati fan I know was he lived in Cincinnati. He's a photographer, but like I don't know him like that to be like, hey man, what's up? But I know some Rams fans. I know a couple Rams fans.
I know a lot of Rams fans. So there's gonna be, you know, if you do a Super Bowl edition, you got a few people you can get on there for that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So the Dolphins went 9-8 this year, won 7 of the last 8, I believe, or maybe 8 of the last 9. Either one. 7 of the last 8. Finished strong, obviously. Then you had the surprise firing of Brian Flores, which a whole bunch of other stuff surrounding that. How do you feel about 1, the firing, and then 2, your new head coach?
Well, just to reflect on Brian, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, man. You know, he came in, you know, we were a bad team, as everybody knows. We've been a bad team for the last century. For this century, we've been a bad team. I mean, we were one game from the playoffs, you know, a couple years ago when we balled that year, and then you know this year we were still. If we beat the we played week 17.
To my last year?
No, this year we were one game away from making the playoffs. We got eliminated week 17 when we lost to I think maybe the Patriots. I'm not sure which one it was, but we got one game away from the playoffs on a team we don't have a quarterback. You know, we're just banking on our defense. So he definitely built a culture. You know, he was building something, but we never had that playmaker. He never got that playmaker, his guy that he wanted, you know, to lead the team. Like, you know, he wanted Herbert. We took Tua because the owner wanted him. So, I mean, I stacked against him as he said in his lawsuits, you know. But, you know, you can only do so much being the coach, not the GM or the owner, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. I think that's a lot of issues with teams that stay bad for a while is they don't get the coach, the players that they want. And, you know, idealistically, it's usually because they fit their philosophy, their scheme, or how they want to run the team, basically. Right. And, you know, and as it turns out, you know, Justin Herbert's a stud. So he's a stud. So it's kind of, it hurts when it happens, but hey, I'm a Browns fan, so I understand.
It's crazy though, because like I wasn't even big on Herbert either in that job. You know, I told you to take another year to get Trevor Lawrence. So I mean, but you know what we're going through. We're going through with Baker.
You feel me, man? But yeah, that's because like with Herbert, you know, he kind of was an unknown. He's an Oregon quarterback, so it's like, oh man, another one of them. And then with Tua, it's like, well, he was good, but then he got hurt, so we really don't know. And it was like we think Burrow gonna be good, but he going first overall, so y'all didn't have a chance for that. You know, I think y'all started slow that season, and then turned it around towards the end and finished pretty strong as well. So your new coach, how do you feel about him, Mike? I can't remember his last name.
It's Mike McDaniel, man. I feel okay about him, man. I just don't like the whole biracial narrative they be going with, but you know, that's what he wanted to go with. Then, you know, we can go with that. Shout out to my boy Prince. You know, he came from Washington Tree. You know, he
keep on.
He don't get the hell about that, man. But you know, he's been under Shanahan, from that Washington Tree with McVay and Matt LaFleur. So I mean, if everything goes how they've been doing it, it's looking up for us. And I'm just excited because, we've always been the last few coaches, except Gase, who I hate Adam Gase. He's supposed to be a quarterback guru, but we haven't had a good quarterback since Dan Marino still. So
Horrible.
There we go. But everybody's been like more defensive minded, man. And every time we get close to the playoffs or we make the playoffs, it's all because our defense balls. We never have like the offensive guy or that, the offense that explosion that leads us to the playoffs, so that leads us to where we need to be. And in this day and age of football, like, defense is gonna win you the championships, but you gotta have that offensive playmaker, you gotta have that guy who can, win some games for you. Like
get you there.
Exactly. So I'm excited to see what it brings, man. I like what they did with Debo. I like what they've been doing with, Jimmy G, as bad as he is. So,
Absolutely.
To it.
Yeah, man. Like you said, the whole Shanahan tree, Shanahan offense, a whole bunch of zone runs and boots and play action, wide open people running everywhere type deal. And like you said, they got really creative last year in San Francisco. I don't know how much of a part he played in that, but like using Debo the way they used him, pulling Trent Williams, which was a massacre, and just getting real creative with it. So I like the hire too. The whole biracial thing is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. He had the whole Mike Jones moment a couple weeks ago. That was cool, but yeah. Anywho, but I think he has the opportunity to kind of turn his offense around, and it's a quarterback-friendly offense for Tua as well, so he can kind of learn and grow and all that. Because your offensive-wise, y'all are middle of the pack in passing and 30th in rushing, which that's the bread and butter is that run game. And then defensively, y'all kind of was middle of the pack on run defense and passing defense. Although I feel like the defense kind of performed above that ranking, at least it felt like that. So y'all got some pending free agents coming up. You got Will Fuller, Emmanuel Ogbah, Philip Lindsay, Justin Coleman, Mike Gesicki, Jason McCourty, and Salvin Ahmed. Any of those guys that you would like to see back in Miami?
Definitely want to see Will Fuller back. He stretches the field, speedster. Got to have him. Ogbah, he's a staple of our D-line. We can bring him back. He is kind of expendable, with the rise of Jalen Phillips. We still have Christian Wilkinson. We have some youth on the defensive line for sure. But, you can never have too many linemen to rotate in, and Ogbah was definitely a big part. I think McCourty's going to retire, honestly. He's getting up there. The end of his days for McCourty, so I don't really have many expectations for him, but I want to keep as many of the offensive weapons we have, man. I need Will Fuller back. I like Gesicki. He's a playmaker at the tight end position. If he leaves, there's going to be a big free agent pickup for somebody. So I'm just hoping we stockpile on what we have and try to build on that versus what, trying to find something else. And I feel like he can fit like not going to say this comparison, but he can fit like a Kittle type of role in that type of offense, that West Coast style offense. So definitely want to bring guys like that back to us for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gesicki's a weapon, man. It would be like 6'6", 6'7". Go get it. Can exactly. Run. Like he really like a wide receiver at times, running down the field for sure. So free agents wise, y'all got bread. Y'all got it says 64, but I think after everything goes through, y'all estimated around like $75 million to be able to spend. So y'all got the money. What positions would you like to see filled with that cap space?
I think with the cap space, just depending on what's out there, I think we need splashes at playmaker. I think we wasted Devontae Parker's prime at receiver, so it's time to let him go. Similar to AJ Green in Cincinnati type of deal.
Yeah.
So if there's any, big time receivers out there, I think Tyler Robinson maybe might have become a free agency. That'd be a good pickup. Definitely need to adjust the O-line. It's horrible. Tua's bad. I'm the captain of the free Tua team, you know it. But offensive line is bad too. I watched some film and it's like, the offensive line plays bad, but Tua, doubles down on the bad play of the offensive line. So definitely offensive line, definitely playmakers like receivers, definitely a running back. Like you said, we 30th for running and rushing offense, man. We, and granted, we had some injuries. Gaskin got hurt early. We tried to bring in Lindsay. He hasn't been playing. Duke Johnson had a game or two where he splashed. We don't have a, you know how we feel about Duke from Miami, man. You know how we feel about Duke. But we haven't had a consistent, running back or horse in the backfield. And like you said, that we got to have that running game. So you got to have that horse in your backfield. And then, everything else just kind of plays off of that. So definitely need to just fill out them holes, man. I think our defense is solid. We can plug in some pieces. We kind of, like I say, wasting Devontae's years. We wasted some of Xavier Howard's best year. So, we wasted a lot of problems. So it's time to, fill them holes, get the offensive line together, get a running game together, and as many playmakers as you can. You can never have too many playmakers. So that's what I think we need to fill on the offensive side of the ball for sure.
Oh yeah, I know. Like that zone scheme, that run offense does a really good job of kind of making names out of nobodies too.
Right.
So like even he's kind of a name. Raheem Mostert is a guy that you can bring back.
What's up with you?
Tell me what's up.
They offer.
Say something.
What's up?
What's going on? How you doing?
He said, "How you doing?"
Okay.
Say bye.
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 But yeah, so like Raheem Mostert is a guy who's familiar with that San Francisco offense, doesn't stay healthy at all, but you probably could get it from cheap. And there's some decent running backs out there, man. I don't know if you're a fan of Melvin Gordon. People are either up or down with him. Leonard Fournette can be due to get some money as well. Stoney Michel. And then it's a decent amount of linemen. Tampa Bay got 2 offensive linemen that are up for new contracts. They got one of the best offensive lines in the league. Like you said, A-Rob, Mike Will, Christian Kirk. There's some weapons out there to be had, man. So, I mean, I think y'all could use like a bigger outside targeted wide receiver. I mean, you got Gesicki, but he probably will eat up a lot of that middle of the field type stuff. But like a big, like Mike Will's a big target.
I would definitely not mind a Mike Will. I'm definitely not opposed to that at all. Mike Will.
Exactly.
A-Rob's not a huge target, but, he still makes some of those contested catches. So, I mean, I would take something like that. I don't think there are many big bodies come out of the draft besides Pickens. So, I mean, I definitely need to address that. So,
Drake London from
USC.
But he's
I'm not really high on London because of, I like his physical ability, but I just haven't been high on any USC prospects since
the prime days.
Right. So
yeah.
I get kind of, I was a Taylor Mays advocate until he got to the league, became a bust. So I've been down on USC for a while, but definitely I would definitely take a Mike Williams, or A-Rob, or a big body. If you can make a splash, get Devontae Adams. I don't see it happening. It's a long shot, but something like that, definitely wouldn't hurt at all. So
got the bread to throw at him.
Got it. We got it. Spend it.
Spend it though. I do appreciate teams like the Rams and even the Saints, who are like $70 million over the cap space. Teams that like forget it, bro. We just gonna go all in and we're gonna see what happens. We might be good, we might be bad. But shoot, just roll the dice, man, and give, especially with young quarterbacks, especially ones that struggle, man, give them as many weapons as you can. Then, like you said, protect them. Get that offensive line right, and shoot, we see what happens. Hey, because even Joe Burrow ain't got a line, and they in the Super Bowl. So,
it's a serial killer, man. You know how Joe Burrow. He different, man. Tua. I'm not gonna say I've been down on Tua. Free Tua still, but he still has potential.
I like Tua, bro.
We said since he came out of Alabama, man, we said he had to track meet on the outside. So I mean, of course. He has to get adjusted to not having the best athletes on the field running down the field for him.
Running free, basically.
Yeah, running free. That's basically what they did. So now he has to make reads. He has to throw in tight windows. Everybody's not running wide open, so it's definitely an adjustment. I just can't forget, I got a guy on a comeback route. You throwing the ball 10 yards in front of him. I can't forget stuff like that. He's wide open, but that's the only thing I think about. The easy throws and stuff like I see him at Alabama, he makes those throws. But that's just the only thing about him, man. I think this last year, like I say, this is his third year? This will be his third year coming up. Yeah,
third year.
I mean, this is your put up or shut up year, and in my opinion. I know you were injured. You come off your injury, gave you a year, gave you a year to get healthy. Got injured a little bit, nicked up, but you had a second year to get offense under your belt. It'll be a new offense, new quarterbacks coach, new everything. But granted, they put the weapons around, you gotta perform at some point. So I think it's put up a shut up for sure.
Yeah, I think this offense is similar to what he ran at Bama. I mean, minus all the athletes on the outside.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how Jalen Waddle is used in this offense, because I feel like he was used like a possession receiver, and he's like probably one of the fastest in the league. So I'm definitely excited to see how they're going to use him. And then I don't know, man. I like Tua, bro. I think because I haven't seen much of him, but like I saw them play Arizona last year.
Yeah,
he played really well. Outplayed Kyler, played really well. And
that's just
I think he got it, man.
Like the game too. If you go back and look at the game, the defense, our defense played cover zero and dominated the whole game.
They did.
Look compared to Kyler. Kyler paranoid. So he did outplay him, but it's only because our defense outplayed our offense and their defense and their offense. So
defense
that's one thing I can do.
Defense was great. But yeah, I like but yeah, because he's not Lamar Jackson athletic, obviously, but he can maneuver in the pocket. He can go extend plays and stuff like that. And I think if he can get like a little offensive line where he feels protected, he don't get the happy feet in the pocket. And I think it can be pretty good, but that's just me.
We'll see, man. We're gonna see what you can do, man. Free tour.
Free tour. Hey, we trying to
train. We got rid of him. That's free tour, man. Gotta get him out of here.
Hey, we trying to free a whole bunch of quarterbacks this offseason. I ain't lying to you. So, like we said, man, a big wide receiver free agent class, a big running back and lineman class. Like, it's a lot of people out there that really improve your team. So y'all got the 29th pick. I got that from San Francisco. I don't know what that trade was.
That was the trade. Last year we had like 3 or 4 first-round picks.
Yep.
We moved back and then we moved back up. That was that trade, and we got San Francisco. Yeah. We had that pick next year too.
Okay.
In the draft. So, yeah.
Okay, bet. And I know, like you said, we kind of went over team needs there: wide receiver, offensive line, playmakers, football players. Because that's kind of where I think the league's going to. Like when you got like a Debo, when you got all these guys that can kind of just play, bro. Just give them the ball and see what shakes. So some draft targets. Mel Kiper had y'all getting Jahan Dotson, wide receiver from Penn State. So wide receiver deep draft class here too. I can see y'all getting, John Mechie from Bama. Got like a second or third round grade, so you can get him a little bit later. And, he should be back before Jamison Williams. Just assuming because he got hurt a little bit earlier. Trevor Penning, tackle from Northern Iowa. I've got mixed reviews from him. I think in another episode, somebody was like, I don't want him. So I don't know if you should get him or not. But, strengthening the offensive line, man, getting the playmakers. So would you rather attack the playmakers? Well, I guess, let me phrase it like this. Would you rather, who would you rather attack more in free agency? Would it be the playmakers or would it be like your established linemen?
I'm thinking in free agency. Tampa Bay, they may be blowing it up with Brady not coming back. I don't know what kind of window they're in. So if some of those linemen are there in the free agency who are established, who we know can play, I would rather, attack them on that basis. Okay. And if we can make a splash like an A-Rob or Devontae or any of those guys in free agency, definitely go for it there. If not, like you just said, man, it's definitely deep at receiver with, Dodson, you got Drake London, we got George Pickens coming out of Georgia. We got the guy from Purdue who's coming out. We have, later on in the draft, still, got the running backs come out. We got both of the Georgia running backs, Cook and I can't think of the other one's name right now.
I can't either. Yeah.
Both of them are coming out. I'll take a Cook, any day.
Any Cook, you feel me?
You got to do something.
Any Cook single digit with dreads, I'm taking
those babies. So we got those guys, man, and it's just a lot of playmakers, coming out. If Williamson drops to a position where we can take him and it's not, that high, I'm cool with taking him and wait for him to get healthy. And he's a playmaker. He's gonna make plays on the outside. That's
absolutely
one of those guys. We don't have to have the hugest body, but he's an ex-receiver. He's like I'm not gonna compare him to Ocho. He's like an Ocho, you know what I'm saying?
Ocho or a B Marsh.
Exactly. I'm going Ocho, by the way. If they watch me, they receive it.
Absolutely.
Ocho definitely my ex at all times, but I do want that safety valve over there in Brandon Marshall. Can't beat that at all. But yeah, definitely I want to say get the young athletes out of the draft if we can. And I don't think we should draft towards need. I think we should draft towards best available player. As long as it's not one of those positions that we're like super deep at. Like we don't need to draft defensive lineman this year.
Yeah.
I think our secondary is cool. We have Javon Holland, coming back.
Nice
in the secondary. So, he had a year on his belt. Xavier's still there. Byron's still, doing what you're doing, not catching picks, but you're covering everybody.
No picks, bro.
No picks, but you cover everybody.
No
So I think if we get those athletes out the draft, man, we should, put as much around Tua as you can and just see what he does. And try to protect him. So it's just going to depend on how free agency goes to start off. We have the money to spend, so hopefully we spend it wisely, and then we attack the draft with whatever we need after the free agency there. So it's an uphill battle with Mason, man. It's an uphill battle, but I'm optimistic. Like I said, I like the coach. Not too big on ownership, but hopefully we get the culture the way it needs to be.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like we both mentioned a little bit earlier. I was talking about how they can just find running backs in the system. And you mentioned like getting a running back, maybe third round, fourth round. Because I think Elijah Mitchell was a late round pick. And he had like 1,000 yards. And really, I think yards per game was maybe like top 5 in the league or something like that. Like, this offense is just tailor-made for it, man. And shoot, if y'all can say that start that line, and you just kind of put the pieces around it, man. Y'all got a chance to do some damage, man. Well, pending Tua pending. And
I mean, pending Tua, and then you got to knock off the Bills now. Josh Allen look elite at this point. I guess we could put him in that category. I will put him in there with the Mahomes and those other guys. So definitely got some things brewing. I think Belichick's going to develop Mac. As he moves his quarterbacks into his system, and I think he's finding some swag about himself too, like in the Pro Bowl, as you've seen. I mean, we definitely got some people to look out for. So we definitely, we're kind of behind on the 8-ball. I see it as like the third best team in the division because the Jets are just the Jets.
Jets gonna be the Jets for a while.
We definitely got potential. It's just gonna depend on Tua. It starts and ends with Tua Tagovailoa. That's where it starts and ends with. That's just it. Just like the 49ers where he's coming from. It started and ended with what Jimmy G's going to do. So it's going to start and end with what Tua can do. And that's what the league's about, man. What's your playmaker at the quarterback position going to do to win you games?
That's facts, bro. Because the AFC is a gauntlet of elite young quarterbacks, especially.
Exactly.
Like it's at the point where like more than likely the 7 teams are going to have an elite young quarterback in the playoffs. So it's like either you got one or you don't.
Exactly, and that's your ticket to the playoffs.
That is your ticket to the playoffs. So it's going to be a dogfight the next couple of years for teams like Cleveland, teams like Miami, teams like Vegas and Indy who don't really have that guy unless they make a trade for him to kind of surpass some of these guys like Joe Burrow and Herbert, who almost was Friends playoff team this year.
Right. And one thing we haven't touched though, we talked about free agency at the draft, but one thing, wishful thinking, or just throw everything in the pot and go get Deshaun Watson. Call it a day.
Freak man. Apparently ownership don't want him, man, and that was kind of the tension between them and Flores. Yeah, and then it was some whispers that Deshaun Watson was gonna go wherever Flores went, but I don't really like Flores going anywhere. I think are there any openings left?
I think it's 2 left. I want to say there's 2
left. Because I know the Saints just got that defensive coordinator, and
Minnesota get a
they getting offensive coordinator from the Rams.
What about Chicago?
They got Eberflus from the Colts. Colts defensive coordinator.
It might be. I can't think anywhere else. Where is it?
I don't know because Lovey got Houston. It might be one opening.
Did Vegas promote that the interim coach? Did they promote him?
They got Josh McDaniel.
Okay, that's what they are. Yeah, I have this coaching player, so I always just lost him, so can't really follow who get picked up, who's not.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question. But yeah, so I don't know where Flores is going to end up at, and same with Watson at this point, especially with his pending case and however that goes. So you said this is do or die for Tua. Just say if Tua is not the guy, what do you think y'all gonna do next year? Are you because it'll be year 4, and it seemed like I'm not gonna say a lot of time, but a few circumstances, like us with Baker this year, the Giants with Daniel Jones coming up, they kind of just let him play out that 4th year. And then pick up that option, and then that's when they kind of make the decision. So if he doesn't, excel this year, do you think he comes back, or you guys make a play for somebody else?
I hope we make a play. I can't say we will. Just with our history, we probably won't make a play. And I would say, most of those guys who are getting those 4th options, like Baker, he's been to the playoffs. Like he's shown flashes of what he can do. Right. I'm down on Baker too, but he's shown flashes that he can be a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Tua hasn't done anything like that, and then the Giants are just the Giants. They're going to hold on their quarterback until he dies, just like Eli. So, I mean, if we do another year, I mean, I just hope he shows some signs of improvement. You know what I'm saying? Some type of flash, some type of just swag to himself to so he can lead the offense. Like you say, it's a gauntlet in the AFC, man. We got Lamar, we got Herbert, we got Mahomes, we got Allen, we got Mac on the run, we got everybody. And everybody's 25 or 26 age or younger, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. So, I mean, hopefully he shows flashes. Hopefully if he doesn't, we get rid of him or make another play to, set ourselves up for that, because we're the worst tanking team in the NFL. I told you that.
Y'all don't know how to tank.
Never gonna get the number 1 pick in the draft. So
Brian Flores said, "Not me, not me."
So I mean, hopefully we make the best decision. But historically speaking, we haven't been making the best decisions since Marino. So that's that.
Who's been y'all best quarterback since Marino?
I would say Chad Pennington. He was in Miami. That's sad.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah,
that's sad, right? Well, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I know who I'm gonna say. And this will be funny to you. Pat White running the Wildcat was probably our best quarterback.
Hey, the Wildcat years, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably the best quarterback.
Wildcat years. Hey, Ricky back there, Ricky, Ronnie, Pat White. Hey, them some weapons though. Hey, like this time and age, y'all would use them boys for real.
Exactly. So I mean, you haven't had a quarterback, man. Like that's pretty much it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this whole century. Dan Marino retired 2000. We haven't had a good quarterback this century.
I thought that was just Cleveland Brown problem.
Nah. But you drafted 8 top picks though, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about it. I think a lot of them been first round picks, but I think the only number 1 overall picks we had was Baker and Tim Couch.
Tim Couch. I'll say Carson.
Tim Couch. And I think that's it. But then
why Johnny went there? He was
22nd. 22nd pick. I don't know why that 22nd pick so it's infamous because we got Brady Quinn 22nd pick too.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah, and then Brandon Whedon, 26th pick.
Brandon Whedon played great in college to be old. He was old.
He was seasoned. He's well seasoned.
He was old, man. He was just old.
Oh man. Oh. Hey man, it's good to see somebody bad quarterback play like us, man. I feel it. It's bonding. My favorite question is, what do you think is a realistic and perfect offseason for the Miami Dolphins?
What do I think it will come, or what do I think it'll be?
So, just say if Miami had the perfect offseason, a realistic perfect offseason this year, what moves did they make?
They shortened the offensive line. Okay. They made a splash. They got a big-time target, and they traded for Deshaun Watson. And his case is get dismissed. That's hypothetically, but a realistic perfect offseason for us this offseason is probably going to be, like I said, still sharing up the offensive line, getting a big body receiver on the outside, and finding a running back. I think our defense is. I know we finished middle of the pack. If you look at it, we were headed into week I think we were 1-7 to 2 or something like that. Yeah. We were the 30th ranked defense. And the second half of the season, we were one of the top 5 defenses in the second half of the season.
That's big.
Yeah, and if you look at the stats, like the only games we got blew out were like of course, Brady torched us, and then the 2 games against Buffalo are the only blowouts we had.
Yeah, Josh Allen was going crazy. Josh Allen said, "I got y'all." Okay. So I might have another question. Out of these wide receivers, which one would you rather have? Mike Will, Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson. Oh, I'm gonna throw another one there because he could be traded. Michael Thomas.
I'll take a healthy slant, man. I'll take a healthy slant, man, if he comes back. But if he doesn't, out of those 3, I'll probably say Mike Will. I mean, I think he's on the rise. He's on the cusp of breaking out. If Keenan Allen was there, he'd get more targets. But, I think he's on the rise to doing big things. And I watched him a lot of clips that he's a playmaker. Like, that's all he knows how to do is make plays. In the national championship they played in, throw the ball, put it on the aisle and throw the ball to Mike Williams the whole game. So that's just kind of what he does. So I think he's the better of the 3, in my opinion.
I asked Todd, did he want Mike Williams in Baltimore? He said, man, he said, man, the way that injury bug that hit them, he said, that boy gonna be sitting there waiting on Mike Williams. He's gonna be waiting like, oh yeah, come on here. Get him. And then, okay, from a running back perspective, would you rather have Lombardi Lenny? Would you rather have Melvin Gordon? Or would you rather have I think I'm the biggest one. Most, yeah, let's go most.
I probably go with it just because he still has upside. Like he doesn't have the wear and tear because they had that rotation of backs that they had in Tampa Bay. Yeah. I'm a fan of Melvin Gordon. Not gonna say I'm not a fan. I do like him. I don't know why the Chargers, traded him away as soon as they did. But I know he's having issues with contract stuff like that. But I would probably say Leonard out of the 3 though. Just because he's a bruiser, but he also has that breakaway big playability.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the Chargers, but they kind of like they're kind of like a running back factory almost. They got Eckler, and then they still got Justin Jackson back there. They drafted like 2 more, I think. So I don't know. I need to research the running backs in this draft. Like I don't know if any got first round grades because they kind of becoming obsolete.
I looked at the mock today. I didn't see any running backs in the first round.
Yeah, so I got to see who the second round backs are.
No, there's a few in the second round that are supposed to get taken. It's definitely a deep wide receiver draft and a deep cornerback draft. I think DK's like cornerback 7. And he's a good cornerback. So that tells you like a good bit about what's in the draft. But
I think Washington got like 2.
I would like to have either Zamir White or Cook. I think Zamir White's his name. That's the running back for Georgia. I would like to have either Zamir White or I would like to have Cook from Georgia. That would be my optimal picks. And I'm sure there's some sleepers out there that we haven't been watching. Yeah. But you know how that goes.
Yeah, running backs can kind of come out of nowhere for real. And especially like rounds like 3 through 5. Random run. I know Kamara was in that range and just a bunch of random running backs. Right. So 2022 prediction. How many games does Miami win and do they make it to the playoffs? I do know y'all play the AFC North. Y'all play our division. And then obviously y'all division. I don't know who y'all play in the AFC though. I mean the NFC.
We'll have the third place schedule. So that's I guess a plus you would say, but I see us being a 8-9 team. Like I said, we don't know how to tank. And our defense is still good. So as long as we make improvements as far as Tua and that, I don't see us beating the Bills. I don't see us beating too many teams out of your division. Honestly, with the rise of Joe Burrow and Lamar,
Joe Burrow.
Yes. So I don't see us winning more than 8 games, man. And that's just the Jets twice.
Hey, we got 2.
We'll play the Jets twice, and we'll beat the Patriots in Miami, and that'll be it.
Every time it seems like.
Every time. But
it seemed like every time.
Other than that, I see us being about 8-9 team.
That makes sense. I feel that. I probably agree somewhere in that range. I would love to see Tua take that step this year.
Right.
But I think the offense is going to be a lot more functional. Just because it's gonna be an easier offense, man. Smooth, something like that. Two will mess around and get you like 25 and 9 or something like that.
It's 16 to 10, so you can't get too much worse.
Yeah, what?
16 to 10 this year.
Yeah, 25.
Exactly. What we gonna do with that? What are we gonna do with
that? Nothing in the AFC.
Exactly.
we trying to get traded to the NFC over here, dog.
Right. And it's not like he's 16 and 10 and he's running for 8 like Lamar or something like that. He's just 16 and 10. That's it.
Man, hey, trade us to the NFC North, bro. I'll take it, bro. I don't care if A-Rod stay or not, bro. NFC North, my bad. Right. But shoot, man. Shout out, hey, what you say? Fans up?
Fans up, man. Fans up, man. Go ride with him, man.
Hey, we're gonna stick beside him, dog. Man, this has been a good conversation, man. It's your boy Zeke. You can catch me on IG, Fatboy Season. You can catch me on Twitter, Fatboy Season Inc., TikTok, Fatboy Season 1. We're appealing all the videos, man. They got me under review. We're appealing them all. I don't care what's on there. We're appealing them. Man, tell them where they can find you at, man.
You know, man, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, cockybot_nature. Shout out to Fatboy Season. Shout out to your own movement. You know, ESPN need to sign my boy. Ryan Clark, come get him, man. Sign my boy. Appreciate you having me on, my boy.
Absolutely, man. It's always love, dog. It's a Chester thing, man. Shout out to Neil Williams. Crib.
I
already know what it is, man. This has been another episode, man, of 123 CABO, dog. Miami Dolphins edition. Fins up is what they say. Hey, man, we out.